Hello, hello. See if I can make this. Oh, nope. Hello, ladies. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I told you I am flying solo today. So, of course, you are here in Women's Body and Power. So, say hi if you come on. We've got things to talk about today, right? I'm not used to talking alone, I'm used to having my partner with me here. So, we're going to try to make it through. How is everybody doing today? I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see any comments. So, say hello. Let's see if I can see you. Say hi. Say hi. Okay, so what I wanted to talk today by myself, I'm going to talk about this topic. The topic today is, what is the solution? So you ask, well, what is the solution to what? Good question. What is the solution to your problem? Okay, so what is your problem? We all have something that we struggle with, right? It could be related to nutrition, workout, life. Who knows? You could have a problem, right? So, to find the solution, you need to identify the problem. So this could go really deep, y'all. So let's kind of unpack this a little bit here. All right, so let's talk about, give me your problem. Tell me your problem if you have it here. Drop it in the comments. What is your problem that you're trying to find a solution to? So, here's the thing. A problem that has too many solutions becomes a bigger problem. Is that deep? That is deep, y'all. A problem with too many solutions becomes a bigger problem. So, what is your problem? Some of the things that I hear a lot or see a lot, or I know for a fact that people are bombarded with, is like, what type of workout should you do? How many days should you train? What food should you eat? What is the latest, greatest, you know, fad, craze thing going on? We suffer from information overload. Y'all know, I think that you've probably heard me say this before, but you are bombarded with information, especially on social media, right? So I think simplicity is really what it comes down to. So identifying your problem first and then coming up with a solution. But how do you come up with a solution? So I will say that in this group, Women's Body and Power, you have two coaches here who are giving you all kinds of information, right? We come here every week to talk to you about the things that you want to know. So you have access to a lot of information. All right. So I would recommend talking to your coach. I would be very selective in how much you talk to. It's kind of like searching for things. You know, the more people you talk to, the more answers you're going to get. So a lot of times it's like you have to kind of put blinders on, put earmuffs on to what you are going to take in. Just like if you go searching for information, you can find so much information out there that you have information overload. You don't know what is good, what is bad, what should you believe. People spend a lot of their time bouncing around to all of these different solutions. So they're actually not even giving the first solution a chance. it's like the ADD thing. It's like, oh, wait, no, let's go over here. Wait, no, let's do this. No, let's do that. Let's go here. Let's try this workout. No, let's try this diet. Let's try this nutrition plan. Let's try this method. And so I always tell people, about the time that you feel like what you're doing isn't working, whenever you feel like you want to quit, that's probably when something good is about to happen. But people suffer from like such impatience. That's like the searching. So, like, they're always trying to find something else, something better. So, what is the problem that you're trying to find a solution to? Has anyone commented yet? Because I still don't see comments on here, although I know that people are on here. Let me know if you have a question. What do you think your problem is? I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not saying what's your problem. I'm asking genuinely, what do you struggle with? I struggle with, I'm just going to let's just throw this out there. I struggle with being patient when it comes to adding lean muscle. Y'all know I have competed in figure way back and women's physique. And when I get to that point where I am kind of in fat loss mode, like I'm in prep or I'm cutting or whatever you want to call it, you're actually like a little bit more, you're able to see the results a little bit faster than when you are trying to build. And I won't say it's always faster, because sometimes it feels like, I always feel like I'm never making any progress. I'm just not seeing anything. I'm trying to lose fat and it's like nothing's happening. And the next thing you know, it's showtime and wow, like I did make a lot of progress, but it's hard to see. But it's really, really hard to see when you're trying to gain lean muscle, because you are, especially like if you have been lifting for a really long time, you are just squeaking out just little bits, like each week or month, or it takes a really, really long time. So it's very frustrating. And so that's my problem. So, I'm sure that you have heard, just trust the process. So it goes towards many things. And that would be, I think, probably my biggest struggle. And so what I try to do is, my solution to this is to have a plan for what I'm going to do, like in the gym. So if it's my training program, I can measure if my progress is improving, right? It's very hard for me to see on the scale, like if I am gaining any muscle. Yeah, I can see if I'm gaining weight, but y'all know weight fluctuates all over the place anyway. So the way that I really measure is gauging my progress from week to week, and knowing if I am lifting heavier weights. Then if I'm lifting heavier weights, I've got to be getting stronger, right? If I'm getting stronger, then I have to be gaining a little bit of muscle, even if it's not anything stellar, right? So that is the solution to my problem. If I just simply look at one piece of data, which is like the scale, or one piece of data, which is like only one measurement, let's say, that I'm gauging, then I don't really know that I am making improvements. So you have to sometimes look at multiple pieces of information, multiple factors, multiple data points of what you're measuring to like know if you are solving your problem. Okay. So I had just I wrote down a couple of notes, because one of the things, I was talking about was like things being overwhelming when you take in too much information. So you've got to keep it simple, right? If you try to make huge changes to your life, like all at once, it can be very frustrating, right? Like who has dealt with this? I know that you have. So if you try to change a whole lot of things, then it can lead to frustration, and then you can just kind of give up very easily or switch to the next best thing, right? So making little changes over time are going to lead to changes in habits. Habits are what keep you going. Habits are what we do, right? Not necessarily habits are what keep you going, but habits are what we do on a regular basis. So when we try to do something new and we take on too much at one time, we tend to fall back into our old habits. And why is that? Because those habits have already been established. We are comfortable with those. We are going to fall back to what we are used to, right? I had a client, and we won't name names, but I trained this guy for years and years, and he did one exercise wrong, like all the time. And, you know, you've got the viewpoint of, yeah, you should listen to your body. But if you're doing incorrect form in an exercise, you are going to set yourself up for injury. So it takes sometimes a professional to see you doing something so they can make changes. But I trained this guy, and I corrected his form for years. Just corrected all the time. Like every time he did this exercise, I would tell him to readjust, to do this a certain way, to picture a certain thing. And it took years for him to get it right. And why? Because his body was used to doing it this wrong way. All right. That is like a habit. You're used to doing something a certain way, so you tend to fall back into that mode. Just like this guy did with this exercise, he always went back to the way he had done it, even though it was totally wrong and it was bad form. That is just what felt right to him because that's the way he had always done it. So just because you do something a certain way doesn't mean that it's right. Your habits have to be changed slowly over time, and then you have developed something new. So then maybe the old way that felt so comfortable for you to fall right back into doesn't feel so comfortable anymore because you have changed your perception and you have changed the habit, right? So I'm just going to check on here and see if anyone had any questions because I cannot see anything on my computer. So, what is the problem that you are struggling with? I would love for you to comment. I would love to see if I can help you find a solution. Katie says, yes, I'm flying solo while she's flying to Texas. So thanks, Katie. All right. So, all right. Karen, yay. Hi, Karen. Well, I'm glad Karen came on here anyway. So I actually see a question, but it does not show up on my computer. So not consistent with workout. So Karen, if your problem is that you are not consistent enough with your workouts, how do you find a solution? What is the solution to that? You know, some of you women that are in this group, you may comment and give Karen some suggestions. I would love to see what your comments are. But what is the solution to this? So again, Karen, it's a habit, right? It's what you do. I tell people, I tell a lot of my clients, people look at their workouts as negotiable, and they really need to make them non-negotiable, right? Because here's the thing. Look at this as like a doctor's appointment, right? If you have something wrong with you and you have a doctor's appointment, you're not going to miss it, are you? Like, I seriously doubt if you would cancel it. Now, depending on what the issue is, you may cancel it, you may reschedule it, but most of the time you are going to keep that appointment. So your workouts should be a non-negotiable appointment, just like anything else. Like, think of something, and it could be different for anybody, but think of something that you would not miss. If you scheduled it, you would not miss it. So what would that be? All right, because If you make your workouts non-negotiable, there are some different ways you can look at this. Some people do their workouts first thing in the morning because that way it's done and they can stick with that easier, right? But I think you have to come up with what is the best plan for you to establish consistency in your workouts. So it could be, I know for me, um, one of the things that would not work for me is if I scheduled my workouts at like 7 p.m. every day. Like I am pooped by 7 p.m. So I'm not going to choose that as my time. I'm going to choose a time that I know is going to work better for me and that I can do this consistently. And so I'm going to schedule that in. I know what I'm working on, whatever days. I have been working out long enough, y'all, that like it feels wrong if I don't work out. And that's because, we're talking over 20 years of working out. Now, there are times that, yeah, I have scheduled rest and I have breaks and whatever, but I have a goal, right? So whatever my goal is, your goal is going to be different than my goal, but I have a goal. So I'm going to keep my focus on that long-term goal. But I know that my consistency in my workouts are what will lead me to that goal. What's going to lead me to that bigger goal long term, right? So finding out what is going to work best for you. So it's establishing consistency, right? So they say it takes like 21 days to change a habit, and it could take even longer than that, or like 6 months. But if you can commit to just even getting 1 weekend of all of your workouts for the week, build on that momentum, right? So establishing when it's going to be, make it a non-negotiable, and use that to keep moving you forward towards your bigger goal, I think is going to be really key. So ladies, I think I have probably rambled enough. So just to recap for you, what is your problem? How can we find a solution? So please comment. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I hope I can get it on YouTube. But please let me know. What do you deal with? What are your struggles? Where are your problems? Let's come up with a solution together. Okay? So ladies, thank you for being on here. Let me know your questions. Let me know your problems. And I hope you have an amazing day. I will talk to y'all soon.